All right, trigger warning, major daddy issues coming up here. So what we're looking at is letters from Natalie Harp, who is an aide to the president himself. And spoiler alert, these are pretty hard to read, to be honest. It sounds like the ramblings, like it. She doesn't have a filter, even though she's writing a letter and sending it. There's absolutely no editing that goes into this. It sounds like somebody that just rolled it off the top, which is like kudos to her for live streaming onto a paper, I guess. But you'll see what I mean in just a minute here. I'm going to read through the letter. We'll stop a couple times in the middle, and then we'll get to the second letter that happens right after this. So, by the way, just a little bit of background. Natalie Harp is the insane person running behind the president's golf cart right here in this image. There's like a line of 8 golf carts all going with him, and she's just like sprinting after him. She is also one of the few people that got to go on when Trump jumped from one flight to another. If you remember, he was supposed to go on Air Force One, and he secretly ditched Air Force One because there was a supposed threat to his life from Iran assassinating him. Now, granted, that threat was only seen by the Israeli forces, and they said there's definitely this real threat, and they have an obvious vested interest in saying, there's a threat on your life, Mr. President. You need to back this Iran war even more because they want him to get deeper into the war. So this is coming from a highly biased source, even U.S. Sources, which Trump didn't listen to, by the way. He listened to the Israeli intelligence agency over the U.S. intelligence agencies that said that's not a credible threat. But that's where we're at this point, where the foreign government of Israel has more sway over our president than our own intelligence agencies. So she was also in the snack cart that got transported over. It was like her and Pete Hegseth. It was a very select group of people. So it's interesting that he took this low-level aide on the snack cart with him over to the other Air Force. It's not even Air Force One, the other plane, because he didn't even take his secretary of, oh my God, what is her name? The one who does his public speaking for him. Oh, I'm totally blanking, but whatever. We're moving on. Which she quit a couple days ago, and I think that's part of the reason why, because she knew that he would leave her for dead. What is? Quit. Press secretary, Caitlin Levitt. Thank you. Yeah, he left Caitlin Levitt, the press secretary at the time, who quit a couple days later on the previous jet, which is probably why she quit. Because I imagine if your boss leaves you for dead and says, hey, there was a plot to blow up the plane and I just left you out there, I'd be a little pissed too. But he also left the entire press corps. There's a press corps that follows the president around. Anywhere they go, the press corps goes. And he just left them all to die, didn't give them any warning, that kind of thing. So, yeah, this letter is in relation to that. So now that you have that background, let's dive on in. Mr. President, I'm sorry. I thought I was the only one left behind last night and had no idea Margot's car was also pulled over and sent back to the airport. Since I was alone in the van outside customs without my paperwork, I panicked and should have called Secret Service instead of you. So she's apologizing for calling him directly because something was going wrong. I am so sorry. I was an embarrassment walking the course in Scotland. And this is referring to this. She did it 2 days in a row, by the way. The first day I was told there were no carts and people walked, which is why I walked. Like, yeah, that's pretty obvious. You don't need to put it back in a second time. The second day, I was specifically asked by, I forget his name. I love the inclusion in this in a written document to the president. Like you're just wasting his time with your like brain flow. Cut that shit out. But one of the main people who was working there, if I could continue walking and tell any other girls who would head out there to do the same, to spare the course any more golf carts. run-on sentence. Like, if you need any proof that these people are brain dead, you can look to this letter. Like, that sentence needed to be cut off halfway through, repurposed into 2 different sentences. But essentially what she's saying is they wouldn't give golf carts to the women, only the men that were going around there. And they were just having the women and the secretaries just run along, just run the course instead behind them. Like the little caddy boys they have you acting like. If there's anything else that I have done to cause you trouble, please forgive me. I know that some people have said I haven't been texting them back, and there are some internal cell issues. John was having technical issues on the plane too, so I asked him to help him out. I want things to always be right between us. I also know I've been distracted all week, forgetting to eat throughout the days and even forgetting to sleep and only catching a few hours at a time. That's insane. I've been forgetting to eat and sleep? Like, is your body not telling you that you need to get some sleep, that you need to eat? Just because you've been distracted? Like, that's nonsensical to me. I haven't been myself, dwelling on the past, capitalized past for no reason, not a pronoun. And the pain of losing my dad, capitalized. It's like so clear she's got daddy issues and she's substituted Trump for her dad, which is just the creepiest thing, especially when you consider that she's like less than half his age. Less, not more. And I started letting the remarks of people who haven't bothered me before get to me. Not because I care what others think, but because I see myself being lowered in your eyes and good opinion. Like, if those 2 sentences don't scream daddy issues to you, I can't help you. I'm not a psychologist, but you don't need to be one to diagnose that shit. That is the fear, you see, because I never want to bring you anything but joy. Like, this is classic, like, honestly, abused wife before even being abused behavior right here. I'm sorry I lost my focus. Yeah, you must have lost focus if you haven't been sleeping for days. You are all that matters to me. Oh, you can do a complete sentence in just a short one. I don't want to ever let you down. Thank you for being my guardian and protector in this life. That's what I wanted to use this card for. When you saw me at the cash register and once again did what you didn't have to do and gifted me with mementos of this trip of a lifetime, again, capitalizing random words, and a coming of age. I'm going to go ahead and let you guess what she means by that one. This is somebody, by the way, who dyed her hair blonde when she's not naturally blonde, specifically because she knows that Trump likes blonde women, and she's said as much before. So, I will return a better person. I have to sign off now as the cars are leaving. See you soon. With all my heart, Natalie. Now you might think, that's insane. Clearly you would send that like a bad text and then go, oh, can I get that back? Can I stop embarrassing myself? Well, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you. Nah, because that was only the start. We're hitting them with a second letter. Mr. President, a second letter has hit the towers. Mr. President, now this is the note I wanted to write, but the apology needed to come first, because she needed to grovel first and say, Mr. President, I was so sorry that I embarrassed you, because she cares more about what he thinks of her than her own self-worth. But we'll get to that. I've learned so much about myself on this trip. Again, capitalizing trip for no reason. I always knew coming home to my roots would be enlightening, but I had no idea how much. I think that combined with the coming of age thing, she's just alluding to probably having sex with him. Anyway, for the first time in I don't know how long, you forced me to unplug. period after the unplug, but not after the quotation mark. We could be out on the course is capitalized, with no machines. I mean, they had golf carts, so they had machines. I guarantee you the president had some kind of communication device. So the idea that he was unplugged is insane, unless like his assistant had all of his devices for him or something. And even forget what time it was. I didn't have to be human printer. I could take time to enjoy good conversation and still get all my work done at the end of the day. In fact, I even had time to take a long morning and evening walks to enjoy each sunrise and sunset. Although I did forget to eat and sleep. Is she doing all right? Because this is the second letter in a row. How long has it been since she's gotten like 3 hots and a cot? Because it sounds like she hasn't eaten or slept in like a week and a half now at this point. With so much thinking time, I confess it did have a slightly negative effect at times that I know you picked up on, but the end result, I believe, will be worth it. I have no idea how rapidly I was approaching burnout and started envying those whose only job seemed to be to talk with you and look pretty. Like, the idea that that's not her job is... What has she done? What else has she done specifically that's helpful? Because clearly, based on these letters, this isn't something with somebody with the communication skills to do anything useful in a leadership role within this administration. Her only good spot for Trump is her loyalty, which she's proving with this letter, basically. So the idea that she didn't have a job to sit around and look pretty before this is crazy to me. I would need to see some proof that she did something else. I want that job. So many times, I'm just trying to stay afloat with all that's coming in for you. I look like a hunchback who didn't have time to freshen up. At least you know what I should look like. Assuming, like, I guess that she dolled up once for him and then is alluding back to that or something. The idea that you can't be human and look normal without being like dressed up to the nines is, I think, indicative of the ideology that I'm criticizing here. It's that trad wife, like, because she's trying to play the perfect trad wife for the president here, as like a 30-something-year-old so that she can be his mistress. Like, let's just be real plain, just cut through the BS. And like, that's the main thing that I have to criticize is look at how cucked you have to be to believe and follow through with this ideology. Like, you have to grovel at the feet of your husband the entire time. You have to like basically say, I haven't eaten or slept because I'm doing everything I can for you. Even my looks aren't individual to me. That's a horrible place to be. Like, self-worth wise, are you kidding me? Dude, I dress up and look nice because I want to look nice, not because I'm doing it for somebody else. Now, it's nice for other people. And, I want to represent myself in a certain way out in public. But the idea that you have to do everything for somebody else is definitionally cucked. So I don't know how to get more than that. But moving on. Plus, I miss the days when you used to call during my talk show days. And we'd talk about everything and nothing. I want to get back to that synergy. We should have to talk about work all the time. We shouldn't have to talk about work all the time. I've always felt like an in-betweener, somewhere between staff and those who enjoy talking to on the plane or at dinner, because that's who I used to be to you when I was a talk show host. Oh, right. She was a Fox talk show host, I think. I have to look back and double check, but I think that's what she's alluding to here. As much as I hated the actual job, I wish I could hear every conversation, because that's when you're having a good time getting away from it all, at least for a few moments. But after going through all this self-analysis, my conclusion, I need to reunite my past self with my current into a better version who will make you proud. Please, Daddy, I want to make you proud. Like, it's just sick. It's just insane. Starting a sentence with and. And please, when I fail, will you tell me? You have the absolute right to cuss me out, if need be, when I deserve it, because no one knows or cares about me more. Thank you for always being there for me. I'll never forget when you made that promise to me after losing my dad. I know how happy he is right now that I did get to go to Scotland and Ireland as he always wanted for me. To modify a classic, I could not have parted with you to anyone less worthy. Like, basically saying my dad gave me away to you, like what you'd see as a dowry at a wedding kind of thing. And I will add, it is I who is unworthy. Always, Natalie. P.S. My hands look worse in Scotland and Ireland because the cold turns my old scars purple. Still on the road to recovery. I mean, what do you even say to that, man? Like, and then you couple that with the psychotic, like, sprinting after him, you know, looking like a psycho, just giggling basically, like, while you're running after him in a cart, getting denied a cart because you're not as important as any of these, like, I don't know, 10 people that are in carts before or the 10 people in carts after you. You know, just real sad behavior. And that's what republicanism, you know, debases somebody to, is sprinting after a cart like this.